Hey, what's up, everybody? I hope you're having another beautiful morning, beautiful scenery, beautiful food, just another beautiful day, am I right? Positive vibes. I'm inserting positive vibes via your electronic device into your brain, okay? That is my goal here today. But basically, what I wanted to talk about today was another childhood reminisce episode, and today here on Good Morning Soul, we are specifically going to talk about like these little phases I had as a child, and I think most kids go through like these phases that will last like a couple of weeks, a couple of months, where you're just really into like a specific thing. And I think adults still do this. I think like, for instance, like nowadays, like I'll phase in between, like I'm really into anime or I'll be really into music. Like I've gotten a little bit more into like manga and comics lately. Like I'm reading Scott Pilgrim, and I pull out manga on my phone all the time. So, and then sometimes I'll get like really into video games. Like a couple of months ago, there was just like a month, or maybe not a month, but a couple of weeks where I was just really into gaming, and I just played through a couple of video games like that. And as a kid, your phases aren't like actual like things like that. Like kids are like really into race cars. They're really into like dumb shit like that. And it was no different for me and my brother. And usually whatever my brother was into, like I was into. Like a lot of my childhood, it was just kind of like whatever was going on with him, like I would just kind of like, that would rub off on me. Like he would be like really into dinosaurs as a kid, and then he'd get a bunch of dinosaur toys, and we'd watch Jurassic Park on like loop. And we'd have like, I remember this like dinosaur like information board thing, and all these little things. It was just, we'd be really into dinosaurs for whatever reason. We'd be like, yo, what's your favorite dinosaur? And talk about that for like, I assume that's what we did, just little kids talking about dinosaurs. Like, I think I was really young when that happened. I remember I would watch like the 3 Jurassic Park movies, and this was before I realized like the third movie isn't as good as the other 2, and the second one isn't, as good as the first one. Obviously, there's a little bit of a difference. And I'm sure if Jurassic World came out back then, like I would have been ecstatic, but back then I probably knew more about dinosaurs than I do right now. And I remember there was like a dinosaur like TV show that we watched, that one weird one with like the puppet like people, like it's like puppet dinosaur people who like, it's like a sitcom though. That show's weird. I remember just like dinosaur TV show, or not TV shows, commercials that I like really liked. I remember, and obviously any movie with dinosaurs or anything to do with dinosaurs. I remember another show, it was like Deadliest Warrior, but for dinosaurs. It would just pit 2 dinosaurs against one another, and velociraptors and all that. Land Before Time, that's another one. I was really into Land Before Time for a little bit, and I don't know if that was the earliest one, but it feels like it was the earliest one. But we were also like really into Batman for a while. We were so into Batman that we like, and my mom will laugh about this to this day, but we would like wear like Batman capes around the house. I specifically, like, I remember, I'm younger, so I was like the Robin, and my brother was like Batman, and we watched not the original Tim Burton movie, but the sequel, Batman Returns. We watched that a lot. I didn't watch Batman Forever, but I do remember watching Batman Robin. Oh my god. This is a bit of a horrific experience, but Batman Robin, like as a kid, I thought was a cool movie, and I remember it like just being, awesome, right? And then like it was on TV, and me and my brother were like, yo, Batman and Robin. And then we put it on, and we were just like if you don't know what's going on in that movie, it is terrible. It is the like dumbest, cheesiest bad movie ever. It knows it's a bad movie. It's awful. It's trash. It's so bad, but for whatever reason, my brother and I liked it. And I've like watched a couple other YouTubers. I remember this guy called the Flick Pick. He watched Batman and Robin as a kid, and he was like, even as a kid, I knew like how shitty that movie was. I was just like, oh fuck. Like I didn't know how shitty it was. Like it was just all white noise to me. And I remember watching Batman Forever, you know, the TV show where Batman is an old man and he gets like this young apprentice guy. I remember the movie like Batman Forever, like where he fights the Joker and the Joker's an old man. I think I still have that. That's part of my VHSs that will never go away because I think I got that from my grandmother. And you know, it was sitting in her house for the longest time. And when I finally moved up to Minnesota to take care of my grandpa when he had dementia, like I finally found some of these old VHS tapes that I used to watch there like all the time, and that was one of them. Like, and you know, it's not like a super kid friendly thing. It's definitely like a preteen, like supposed to be intended for like, I don't know, like just young kids, I guess. But I was like baby years when I watched a lot of this stuff. And you know, the Batman phase that died out, and there was a couple other ones. I don't think any of them, like obviously like Pokemon and all that stuff, but that's when I was starting to become like, I don't know, I was into Pokemon, I was into Yu-Gi-Oh, into Dragon Ball Z, and those were like kind of phases, but like they weren't like these dumb little phases. Another one was Godzilla. We were really into Godzilla, right? And it was obvious why we love Godzilla, because he's just a big ass fucking dinosaur. That's all Godzilla is. He's like an alien dinosaur. Like, what more do you want for a kid than an alien dinosaur? I remember having Godzilla toys. I remember this Godzilla game on the GameCube where he's fighting like it's like a fighting game, right? It's like a fighter rumble-y game. And you get to play as Godzilla and Mothra and all the other Godzilla characters, and they're just going at it. And I don't even think we really watched like that much Godzilla. I know like the old movie was out by then, but the one that not the 2014 one, obviously, like the 2001, whenever it came out. Was that what it was called? Godzilla 2000? I don't remember that movie. I think we might have watched it, but I definitely was like not like, we didn't watch that much Godzilla despite that we were super into him like as a character. And it's weird, like nowadays, like when I see like I'm not as into like Batman as like a bunch of other people, and you think I would have like this weird like childhood, like the things that flashed in front of your eyes as a kid, you'd think like would shape your mind to the point where I'd be so interested into Batman, like you would think I would like become this huge Batman fanatic, but I never really did. And I think, I don't know, like if Batman was like the reason I liked Batman, like him as a character was never like awesome to me. Like I remember thinking the Joker was fucking amazing when I watched Batman Forever, that like TV special. And you know, I remember like seeing like Batman and Scooby-Doo. Like that was another VHS I watched. It was like Batman meets Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo was another phase I think I had, because I remember having a bunch of Scooby-Doo VHS tapes. But like Batman, like as cool as he was, like I think it was just like the fact that I think it was like more mature. Like I think it gravitated to like the more mature Batman stuff that I watched. And I definitely, like, I went through a bunch of other stuff. Like, I was really into the movie Free Willy. I was really into a bunch of different movies. There was this movie, it's like an anime movie called Little Nemo I watched a lot. Obviously, like the Disney movies. Just general stuff that I think, like, kids were watching toward this time. Like, I definitely wasn't a 90s kid because I was born in 97. Like, I'm not going to pretend to be a 90s kid. But I was definitely raised on, like, 90s culture. Like, all the movies I watched were, like, a couple, like, probably I was too young to, you know, see them when they first came out. but I definitely like got the aftermath. And I think like when people made that phrase 90s kid, like I assumed that was me. Like I was like, oh, I was born in 97, I'm a 90s kid. But then I was like, oh wait, that's not who they're talking about. But I was definitely raised on like all of that shit. And all the shit that they make fun of, like, oh, 90s kid didn't have internet and didn't have cell phones. Like, I didn't have a cell phone, like a real cell phone, till I was like in late high school. Well, technically, I had like an Obama phone for all of high school, and then like after high school is when I finally got like a smartphone. So I was like 18 or 19. Like I was already YouTubing by the time like I got my real phone, and I definitely didn't have internet till I was like 15. So, you know, I was definitely living in like the dark ages back then, and even like towards my like later childhood, like I didn't have that much futuristic stuff. And maybe that's why I was so into watching DVDs and VHS tapes and shit like that, because it was like, what else am I gonna do? Like watch bullshit ass Disney Channel all day every day? Like I'm alright. I'll watch movies, I guess. I think that was a long enough rant. Just picture me as a kid running around in a Batman cape, watching Jurassic Park and Batman movies, and that would probably give you an idea as to what I was like as a kid. I think I was like a quiet kid. Like my mom will like talk about me and my brother, like she said like when she found out she was having another boy, she cried because like my brother was like a loud ass kid, and then like she was like, oh, I'm having another dude. Like that terrified her, I guess. But then apparently I was just like a really chill, quiet kid, according to her. But I don't know. Anyway, these have been like my childhood phases. What are your guys' like childhood phases? Were you really into like monster trucks or whatever else kids are into? Just let me know down below in those comments, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. And with that, I leave you.